I can't believe we are already budgeting for September. Where has the time gone? I have no idea. So today I'm going to be forecasting my budget for September using my budget forecaster template. If you want to follow along with me, you can do so by getting this exact same template in the How to Control Your Spending workbook, which is for sale, using the link below. And I'm going to be putting together a plan for my income, how I'm going to be saving it and spending it. So stick around. Hey guys, it's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. The number one tool that helped me get out of $35,000 in student loan debt was my budget. And I love putting together a plan for the budget by going over to my kitchen table and writing everything out on a sheet of paper so that I can plug it into my spreadsheet and have a plan for the month. So let's hop over to the table and get started. Oh, hey, thanks for joining me. We are gonna go ahead and forecast for the month of September. And typically, I've found since I've done this forecasting, if you have consistent income, it kind of gets boring in some places. So even though your income and maybe like your fixed category stays the same, you still get to play around with some of these other categories, which I'm going to show you how I'm going to be switching it up for the month of September here in a second. But the income that we are forecasting for, again, is $10,000. That's been pretty consistent for us the past, probably 6 months now, maybe less. And so I like to take that money and start divvying it up with the fixed category. So I have on this template, and also I was thinking about this because we're debt free. So debt payments is really not an issue. It's not an issue for us. And that's the whole point of this channel, is to get to this status. So I'm curious if you guys would like to see a second version of this template without this section, and then I can expand on these other sections. So let me know in the comments below if you're interested in that. So let's go ahead and fill out my fixed budget. Okay, so this is my fixed budget. Obviously, rent is our most expensive fixed expense, and that's because we live in San Diego and it's very expensive. But other than that, all the rest of our fixed expenses are relatively low. I'm dropping our groceries budget to $500. $500 was pretty typical for us pre-pandemic, and now that we've gotten things a little bit under control, I've just moved that down to $500. Now, alcohol has gotten a bigger budget lately because Kyle and I took a mixology class using Masterclass. You guys have to check out Masterclass. I will leave my affiliate link below. It is awesome. And we've been really getting into cocktails, so that is why that is a lot higher. Kyle really has gotten into tequila, so tequila. And then gas, and then memberships includes kind of a catch-all for my Amazon Prime membership, Netflix, Disney Plus, and I just break out, even though you pay a lot of those subscriptions annually, I just break them out monthly and then lump them together and then pull money out of that sinking fund when those memberships are due. Okay, now let's get to the fun stuff, my favorite section. All right, let's go ahead and fill out fun. Okay, so fun has been filled out. I went ahead and increased our restaurants budget from $200 to $300 because I noticed we've gone slightly over the past 2 months. So I'm going to give us a break here and increase that budget a little bit. And then fun has a big fat zero again. And that's because we had a sinking fund where we were contributing to this regularly, and it grew to over $1,000, and we just weren't spending money on going out because of the pandemic. So we are just not contributing to it anymore. Kyle has been using money out of the sinking fund for golf, and usually that's $13 at the driving range. So we're just pulling that money out, and once it gets below, I don't know, a couple $100, maybe $500, maybe we'll start contributing to it again. Then shopping has been pretty consistent around $300, $350. I decreased my clothing budget. Last month I had budgeted $150 and I just didn't spend that money. So I figured I could put that money towards something else. So $50 for me for September for clothing. Kyle gets zilch. That's because his sinking fund for clothing is over $600 right now. So I'm like, unless you need like a new suit, we're not going to contribute to that sinking fund right now. Haircuts gets $40, gifts $200, apartment decor, which is just furnishings and art for the apartment, gets $150, giving $250, and then my therapy sessions for $125. Highly recommend everybody has a good therapist, because it definitely helps just to talk to somebody about whatever you're going through. All right, so that's fun. I'm going to go up here to the fudge category. Fudge is like your miscellaneous, and if you go over budget, you can always pull money from like this buffer category. And right now I am contributing just $10 to that because I kind of have a pot of fudge money set aside that's around $100. Okay, then future, which gets a ton of our discretionary income. This category is so important right now. So let's go ahead and fill it out. Okay, so the future category is filled out, and the down payment is still the biggest financial goal that we have right now. So we have over $100,000 saved up for the down payment, but we're going to continue to save because the San Diego housing market right now is just super hot, and we feel like we need to wait. So we're waiting. The vacay fund gets $250. Jeep Wrangler gets $850. That's up $100 from last month. So remember how I said I was going to not contribute so much to my clothing account? I just moved that money over to the Jeep Wrangler. So priorities. And then car expenses is $77. $27 of that is set aside for tags and registration, which is usually due for us in April. And then $50 gets set aside for car maintenance. So think brake pad replacement, oil changes, a brake light goes out, whatever. Now, I already have a sinking fund for car expenses set aside that's over $1,000, and I was contributing $100 to my car expenses fund, but because it's over $1,000 now, I feel comfortable that if something were to happen to the car, that $1,000 should cover most repairs. And then we have insurance, which includes renters, jewelers, and car insurance. We set aside monthly $82. And then the investments includes all the outside stuff outside of Kyle's employer-sponsored retirement plan, which includes Betterment, Acorns, Stash, Robinhood, and then I'm also kickstarting over again my contributions to my Roth IRA, and I'm working on maxing out my Roth. So let's go ahead and add up all of the expenses and then all of the savings and see what my net is. Okay, so I totally forgot one budgeted expense, which are my taxes, and I pay CPA. So typically I set aside about $24 for my CPA. So I need to go ahead and add that in there. And we'll add taxes. $24. And then I just set aside that amount of money every single month, and then come April when she does our taxes for us, then I can just pay her from that sinking fund. So if that's the case, then I need to add $24 back into my expenses. 52, 57. And this actually needs to be 5281. And then that plus 4719 gets me to 10, which is a net of 0. All right, guys, that's the budget for September. And if you forget things like that, that's totally okay. Just go back in, add in whatever your expense is so that you make sure that every dollar is accounted for. I almost forgot. We have to take a look at what's happening this month and this month's focus. So this month, I know I was supposed to go to FinCon, which is a huge personal finance conference. It was supposed to be in Long Beach this year, and it's not happening. I'm so bummed, but just taking a quick peek at my calendar, it doesn't look like we have anything really planned for the month of September that would affect the budget, which is kind of crazy and a little boring. So nothing really going on, but maybe actually that's a good thing. Okay, and then this month's focus, again, I think the focus is down payment. We've been really good at saving for regularly. However, I noticed the restaurants and groceries sometimes can be a bad habit. So maybe we just take a look at reining in. You know, I did increase the restaurant budget, but maybe we just be more mindful of restaurant, like takeout orders. Okay, now that for sure is the end of the budget. Thank you so much for forecasting your budget with me. I hope this video was helpful so that you can see real numbers, get it down on a sheet of paper, and we have a plan of action for September. It's gonna be a good month, guys. We're getting into fall, and I love fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. Comment below with how you did with this activity. Was this helpful to keep you organized? Don't forget, if you wanna get this exact same template plus 50 pages of activities and things to help you on your debt-free journey, you can do so by getting all of those things in the How to Control Your Spending workbook linked below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.